Hi, welcome back to Bike Speed. So you joined me this morning on a glorious spring morning. The sun has just come up over the horizon. On the right hand side there you can see the sea. I'm literally 100 meters away from a drop to sands and the sea. We're right on the coast here. It's a glorious blue sky day. The birds are singing and we're back on the steel Peugeot that we restored in one of our videos, out for a Sunday morning ride. I've been out a few times on it since we did the rebuild, and today I thought I'd take you out and talk you through that, or those rides, and also talk a bit about this Peugeot and what we've done to it since the video to make it a little bit easier for me to ride. So let's get up this hill. There's quite a breeze today, but it's in the other direction, so I've got tailwind at the moment, but in the other direction I'm going to be working hard to get home. You'll get to see that in a little bit. Alright, we're just coming up to a tricky section here. I can see a horse ahead, and this is like the first village out of my town, and it has parked cars all down one side, so it actually becomes a single track road. And I do know someone who had an accident along here with one of the parked cars, so I always give them a wide berth. But we've also got this horse, so I'm just weighing up what to do here. I'll just creep up behind her. Just coming up behind you on a bike. I'm alright to go past?
Yeah, you're fine.
Cool. Have a good day. There we go, we're past that. Now this is the parked cars that you get. I always give them plenty of space. I've also got a runner coming up. Quite a busy little section here because it is the route out of our town. So you get a lot going on along here. So I just pop in here. Morning. Away we go. So on my right here, and you can just see there, right on the horizon is the sea, and I've literally got this field between me and the sea. We really are very, very lucky and fortunate here to have some great beaches over there. Right, let's get riding. Oh, the birds are singing, it's so nice. Now, the one thing you may have already noticed, if you're an avid watcher of the channel, is that I've done some slight modifications on this old Peugeot. It was a 1x5. We actually had an old bike in our shed that had a cracked frame that Simon actually used for a paper round, and I gradually upgraded my old road bikes at the time, and that was running full Ultegra 10x2, which at the time was the current generation. That bike's now sat for a few years. It's one of the few bikes we still had after I sold all my bikes after my crash. We ripped that group set all off and we put it on this Peugeot. So I'm now running 2x10 Ultegra. I had a set of cheap and cheerful alloy rims, which are a slightly deeper section than what we had, and I must say they're lovely compared with the old wheels. I've swapped the tyres for 700 by 25C. Originally the bike had 700 by 23C, so it's a little bit more comfy on the tyres. Although one thing I do notice with this steel frame is it's quite choppy to ride. It's quite bouncy and choppy on the lumps and bumps. That also now means I've got STI shifters up here on the hoods, so I can change gear, brake in the drops. It's a much better setup. Right, we're now onto the towpath of this dual carriageway. It's quite early in the morning still. It is a Sunday. The clocks have gone forward in the UK, and I've just looked at this clock and it says 8:05, but I'm sure it's 7:05 and I haven't got my watch on, so I'm not sure if I'm an hour later than I thought I'd be or this clock's wrong. But looking at the amount of traffic, I believe it's 7:05, not 8:05. So I've used this bike 3 or 4 times now, and it's really good to get back on a bike. I'm itching to get I wouldn't say better bike, because all bikes are good, but a more practical bike for jumping on day to day and starting to get back into training. We all know these things are expensive, and I've got to really figure out what I'm going to do. Thank you. Before I go spending the money. One of the reasons I started a bike shop was to hide invoices when I was racing. It was a glorious way of buying bits. Not that I ever needed to, but it was fun. So I'll probably do the same again. Keep buying bits for stock and repairs. Right, I'm now crossing a big roundabout here, so I'm going to drop it into the small ring, which of course I now have on this 2x10 instead of 1x5, and creep across here. We're quite clear actually. Yeah, this isn't 8 o'clock, this is 7 o'clock for sure. Oh, I can feel that wind's going to be brutal coming back. This is lovely, blue sky, it's so blue, and it's a lovely breeze. Good one to wake you up and get you exercising. I know I'm about to hit that. I'll probably have a different face when we get back to the hill that rode us up last time. You'll see that in a minute. So we'll go around here and start heading back. Straight into headwind. But that is what it is. So I've always favoured being a soloist. I like to just get out and do my thing. I think it helps you become regimented about your training. You can't hide behind a veil. You've got to put the work in. Groups are fantastic, but I like them as a special occasion. We've got a fair old wind in front of us now. Told you my smile would go. I'm working now. I'm going to back off this pace. Pointless ruining myself. One thing I did notice in the last couple of 3 rides was kept forgetting to hydrate. I was incredibly dehydrated Monday. The last ride I brought a bottle with me. Completely forgot it was there. Still dehydrated on Monday. And today I got a tablet in here, electrolyte, mixed in. Yeah, should have drunk that earlier. Right, gonna work this hill now. Just get my breath back. I was talking to a customer in the shop a week or two ago about clipped-in pedals, and he didn't ride with them. In fact, we photographed that bike and put it on our Instagram, I believe, and he had flat pedals, which is what I'm riding today. We had the discussion between the clip-in and the flats. And I actually said to him that after my accident, I was probably just going to use flat pedals. But coming up that hill, my feet were bouncing off the pedals on the rough road, and it was quite dicey. I've got different shoes on today, and they are gripping a little bit better. But that to me has settled the argument between clip-in and flats. With the clip-in, you remain part of the bike over rough ground. And we're not talking rough, we're not talking off-roading or gravel, we're talking roads. I think you do need clip-in pedals to get the best out of your bike and yourself without it becoming dangerous. I believe I still got my old clip-in pedals, so I might pull those out today and have a look. We've done 9.66 miles. We're currently riding at a glorious 12.7 miles an hour and slowing down. And we've averaged 14.1 mile an hour. I'd have been devastated at that speed a few years ago. I'd have been questioning my life choices. Now I just love it. Feels like that wind's turned a little bit. So this old Peugeot is running like a dream. I wouldn't be any quicker on anything else at the moment. I've got a slightly longer stem than I had when we rebuilt it. That's far more comfortable for my shoulder, my bad shoulder. The gearing is worlds apart. The other bike was alright for around town, but doing this kind of riding, I didn't know what had hit me there that following day. I find it quite amusing, really, because in my head I'm saying all the things that I hear in the shop and read on forums for new cyclists. It's really like learning it all over again. We've just gone through a 5-day, well, 2 bank holidays in a weekend, so a 5-day break here in the UK. So what was unusual about that break was we kept getting web orders off the website. Put the link in the description below. We got a lot of website sales over the weekend, and we got a lot of views on YouTube. When you're a one-man band, you're close for a holiday, and 1, you're not earning any money, there's no holiday pay, and 2, you still have to pay your overheads. So far from having a nice holiday with no financial worries, you earn nothing and you're still spending out on overheads. It didn't cost me anything to have a holiday. Couldn't believe it. So thank you anyway to those people who did order. You can really hear the birds in this wooded area here on my left. They're really singing. So we're now heading towards the hill that I struggled with last time you saw me on the 1x5. Another customer told me that he always avoids this hill at the end of a ride. He always goes the other way to try and avoid it, because it is a nasty little hill. We don't have many hills in this area, so none of us are used to them. But it can really grind you away. And it's in a headwind. I can't even get a pace up going down this little segment. Woo! That wind's blowing across that field there. And now we're working this hill. Well, I'm still doing 11.5 up there, and I did say in the saddle, so I wasn't trying too hard. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Do drop this a like, do drop us a comment, do click a thumbs up. It's a lovely day. Get out on your bike, everyone, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.